Why, hello everybody, and today is Friday, August 29th, and we are just here near Mary Freebed Hospital on the south side of Grand Rapids near Wealthy Street. The location behind me, the new Children's Rehabilitation Hospital, continuing to be built. My plan today is to walk from down here on the south end and head up maybe over to the riverside and head to the north end of Grand Rapids. And if you hear something bouncing around, it's because I'm carrying a bag that isn't exactly the best for filmmaking. And my coffee mug. Got it strapped to the outside of my pack. Hopefully it won't fall off. We'll try to get rid of it once we get downtown. I'm going to try to make a fairly long video today. We've walked about 3 miles so far. Let's look to the north there. Let's cut over this way, actually. Let's head west first, and then we'll head north. The Wealthy Street roundabout here. As we walk to the west now, in the abandoned McGraw Tire Service building. It's been sitting here empty for a while. You can see clear up to the medical mile to the north. We'll try to find a good spot to show you that at. And all these buildings on the left, which would be to our south, those are all new construction in the last, I want to say, 3 or 4 years. People just slowing down. Alright, let's head up this way. Try to get a good shot of where you can see to the north. Always like catching the churches down here too when I walk through. And the gimbal seems fairly well balanced today. That's nice. And venue St. George here, just across from the Catholic school. Oh, the weather. Weather today is a very, very cold, actually. It's 60 Fahrenheit. I believe that's 15 Celsius. I could be wrong. I'll put it on screen. I'll put it correctly on screen if I'm wrong. I gotta switch hands with the camera. We're filming as we always do on the camera stabilizer. It's not really a gimbal. I mean, it has a gimbal on it, but a gimbal just means the bearings It is a weighted stabilizer system, so I don't have to have a battery. Downside to that, of course, is that it weighs, I'm going to say we're close to 3 or 4 pounds. Let's walk over here by the church's beautiful little patio area. I don't think I did an opener. Did I? Yeah, I did an opener in front of the sign. Never mind. And this is Bishop Frederick Baraga. If you've been to the UP, there's a huge statue of him up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And this is a recreation of a plaza in Italy in front of St. Mary's, I believe. Or this is St. Mary's, and this is... Wow, my sentences are not falling dead today. Can't remember the name that this plaza is a replica of. But we'll continue our walk to the north and slightly to the west. So I cut over to Plaza Saccia is what that plaza was just called. I didn't already put it on screen. We'll cut through over here, over to Division Avenue. And we'll take Division to the north. Ooh. Oh, right, okay. Making sure my mug didn't fall off my bag. Look over to the west. The freeway is just to our west here, along with the downtown market. And one of the small parks that I can never remember the name of. The birds are all out and just absolutely crazy for anything to eat. See them scouring along the sidewalks here. We'll cross Cherry now. There's a bunch of little shops and galleries and art and stuff along here, along with the Harris Building, another big event venue. A lot of weddings down here. Dream Pirate Gallery. Vertigo Music here as well. Long-time staple of the area. This area is typically a lot busier in the evening when there's music playing at some of these venues. I think this is an art gallery here on our right now. Exhibition. Hey, they finally patched this giant sinkhole on the corner of the sidewalk here. I think we're going to wait just a minute for this light to change, because it should not be long. All right. Just passing Rumors nightclub here. I'll look to the skyline, at the skyline to the west. The city's got all their vac trucks out. They look like they're cleaning up the storm drain lines, getting all the leaves and debris out of the storm drain lines before winter comes. Grand Rapids does have a fairly large sanitary or storm sewer. And that would be entirely for rainfall as opposed to a unsanitary sewer, which would be where the poo goes. Well, let's cut down. Might as well cut over now. Oh, hang on, I want to cross the street here and catch this mural in this alley. Hang on. I think I've caught this one at a glance. I've never gotten a good look at it. I think that's all there is to see. It's just a giant concrete basin otherwise, so let's pop back up. In fact, I'm going to pause you guys. I'm going to stop, use the restroom really quick, get rid of this coffee mug so my bag isn't making so much noise, and we'll see you probably just a couple blocks away in a minute. Alright, and we're back just here at the intersection of Ionia and Fulton. We'll cross this and we'll head further to the north. Sorry for that little jostle as I switch hands with the camera there a couple times. It helps to switch which one is holding it and which one's stabilizing it every once in a while. Keep my arm from getting so tired. Leo's just here on Ottawa, one of the higher end restaurants I had an opportunity to give a try. And on the back of the Grand Rapids Art Museum here. Looks like we're hitting all the green lights. So as long as this wind isn't too bad. Gimmy's is new to the area. The golf-themed restaurant. Again, another one I haven't had an opportunity to try yet. If I do get an opportunity to try it, I'll let you know if the food and service is any good. And another little jostle as I switch hands. Oh, the joggers are making me jealous. I kind of want to jog. The big question is, should we head over to the riverfront or should we head over to Rosa Parks? I think the traffic lights say I should head over to Rosa Parks. Just wait for this light to change. And more of the Grand Rapids Art Museum here, the Gram, as it's known locally. And just in the distance there, you're able to make out the top of McKay Tower. McKay Tower, previously the tallest building between Chicago and Detroit, and that was in 1983. And Rosa Parks circled here. Looks like anything's going on right now. They have dancing usually once a week. Then in the winter, they'll set up the ice skating. As we continue walking up Monroe to the north. On the intersection of Monroe and Pearl here. Fridays and Saturdays is typically where Classic Carriage is set up. Just under the overhang of the Barnes and Thornburg sign there. As we continue walking to the north. It looks like we're going to miss this next light anyways. They might be working over on the bridge still. So I'm kind of glad we didn't go over to the bridge. We'll head over that way once they finish getting those sidewalks back in order. I think it'll be a lot easier. We'll just wait here. Flanagan's is, as far as I know, Flanagan's is still not open. Something happened with their liquor license. It was for sale for a minute there. I thought maybe. I'm still not sure what's going on there exactly. Pardon for the jostle again while I switch hands. Waiting for this light to change. The Pantland Amway Grand Hotel here. Along with a large number of restaurants, Bull's Head Tavern, Chop House, Atto Sushi, to name just a few along this stretch. And this Allura is brand new. I'm tempted to go see if they have a menu up yet. Vandenberg Center here, along with Real Seafood Company. But we're gonna wait and we're gonna cross to the west. We'll look south down Monroe here. And in the WinQuest building, see if this new restaurant has a menu out. Well, they don't have a menu up in the window like I would expect, so we're gonna have to go online for that. Is this the entrance? Well, yeah, no, that was definitely the entrance, and they don't have anything up. So I tell you what, let's walk north further. Practice my steady camera. I'm gonna run a little bit here. The Government Center ramp, along with the City and County Administration building here. This traffic light is also new in the last couple of years to help everybody cross for events. Let's poke our head in here really quick. It's been a while since I've been in the Grand Gallery. Give you guys a quick look. And the entrance to the Skywalk could just be to your left there, if you're looking to walk to the south. And that keeps you indoor through several of the hotels on this side of downtown. I'm not sure what convention's going on today, but we'll just take a quick walk through the Grand Gallery. And the river overlook rooms. And it looks like they have a food truck in here for ice cream. Although, that's not one I've seen driving around Grand Rapids before, so I'm not sure where he's from. Let's see if we can go out these doors. Excellent. This courtyard statue of Anna Bissell tucked away over here, which I've shown you guys before. All right, well, let's walk over to the... I hope the Gillette Bridge is open again. Let's see if we can see if the Gillette Bridge is open again before we walk all the way down there. I can't tell from here. I still see barricades. Yeah. They still have the Gillette Bridge closed, so... Well, we still have time, so let's walk north to the Michigan Street Medical Mile Bridge and then decide where we're going from there. Christine from We Go Places Tours gave me a really good idea. I may just bring a tripod with me one of these days and just have a little picnic. Find a nice spot, maybe over by the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum. And we could do a offline sitting in one spot stream. I don't know how well that would do. And ironically, all the busy days they play copyrighted music, so... Or they tend to, I should say. All the pigeons lined up here on the Michigan Street Bridge. Gonna look downstream. Back towards the Gillette Bridge. Pigeons are all roosting because it's just a little chilly today. I don't feel like going all the way over to the west side. What I really want to do is eat my lunch. I don't know. If I eat my lunch, I might not have the energy to start walking again after I sit down. And the Row Hotel building, now home of Atwater Brewing. I don't know that there's actually a hotel in there anymore. There might be. And we'll stop here at the intersection of Monroe and Michigan to take a look up the Michigan Medical Mile. I don't know if we'll walk up that way, maybe. It's a big hill. And the large elephant doors. Part of DeVos Performance Hall here, so they can load things in for the big RV shows. Looks like we've missed our crossing of Monroe here. Take a look over at the Calder Plaza as we wait for this light to change. And the Perigo building and the U of M building here, both in the last 2 or 3 years, finished construction. Those were, well, maybe longer than that. They started back in the pandemic almost, I feel like, 2019, 2020. let's walk up the medical mile at least a little bit. And these buildings all to what would be our north, kind of on our left here on screen. These are all generally medical and related to the University of Michigan. I believe one of them is a research center or something like that. As we come up and cross Ottawa, continue walking to the east. Ooh, I don't know if I want to go up any further. That hill is steep. I'm going to pause and wait just a second. We might walk to the north again. Check and see where I am for time. Yeah. I have tons of time. If you're looking for a recommendation of where I would go to eat around here, right now, my thoughts would be with Garage Bar, just a little bit farther to the north of us. I want to stop and get this mural. This is right as you come off the off-ramp from the west. You have to watch. People are very distracted. It'd be nice if they trim this. They're stopped because it was red. Yeah. You get in kind of a zone when you're on the freeway. And here's the off-ramp from the other direction into downtown. That would be the east. Traffic coming from the east. As we walk under the east-west freeway, I believe it's I-96. Although our freeway numbers are awful similar and therefore confusing. Wow, they really have not done any trimming or anything over here, or cleaning or landscaping. Kind of looks rough over here. They put in these live ditches to help filter the rainwater, but just don't feel like they're taking good care of them. Let's cut down along through one of the alleys over here and just kind of wander. I had some fun last week. I ended up in an alley I Hadn't been down before. Hadn't even realized there was a subway and stuff tucked in down that alley. Kind of want to walk over by this big utility underpass. I think they have a lot of transformers and stuff tucked away over here. So they have an underpass under the freeway, but it doesn't go anywhere. Check this out. See if we can get close enough to see into it. Oh, it used to be rail. Yeah, I forgot the railroad used to run underneath here until they put all this in. Jeez, man, it's been that long since I've been over this way. For some reason, I always imagined they had generators or transformers tucked in down there. It's like there's some stuff going on in the park over here. Let's walk over to 555 Monroe. It might be our prize stuff, and I don't know if I want to. Every time I catch art prize stuff early, it doesn't really work out until a couple years later when people kind of catch on that I caught art prize stuff before art prize started. But that sounded like a dumb sentence. These condos here, these are all new as well. And yeah, all of the parking is all metered down here. And it looks like they've tore out another block. I think there was a brick building here. Let's cross over here and take a look. Now, I haven't tried any of these shops down in these plazas, so. Yeah, interesting. That might be a parking lot they're putting in, though, not another building. They did just build the building behind it. I think it's medical related. I'm not sure what it is, but that was in the last 3 or 4 years as well. No, offline. The Speakeasy Lounge, also another longer time staple of the area. We'll cross Monroe here over to 555 and see what's going on over here. The skate park is actually surprisingly quiet. It is kind of early on a Friday. Although I still thought that with how cool it is, people would be enjoying being able to go out and skate. Well, and as soon as I find out what this is, I will let you guys know. Oh, here's the signage. maybe catch that again another time when there's less people around. I don't really want to put a bunch of families on YouTube that don't necessarily want to be, so. Where to now? Well, I'll tell you what sounds good for lunch. Would be up the river a little bit. I don't want to walk that far. Let's walk over to the river edge. My pedometer says we're only 4 miles into this. I keep trying to walk more so I can make my way up to attempting to walk the 38 miles or whatever it was T-Shots walked on her channel, but boy, you really gotta reach far to walk that distance. We'll walk over to the Lowhead Dam here on the Grand River. This will be the first of a series of Lowhead dams on this river. Help control the river level. And as you can see, the river is quite low at the moment. It's been a while since I've walked this park. Well, the last time I was up this way, I think I had the kayak with me, and then it turned out the park where the boat launch is was closed. This is an old Art Prize entry that's still hanging out, even though it looks like they might have lost their signage for it. Now, see, it's hard to tell if these are early Art Prize entries or just something the city's put up. So those are probably a lot cooler looking at night. A lot of this Art Prize stuff tends to be. Alright, well, let's keep walking to the north. See if we can't see anything else cool. So I used to go online to find out when new stuff like this was popping up. Oh, see, yep, and I can't go further north because that's where the park is closed. Alright, as I was saying, you guys can look at the 7th Street Bridge while I rant. You used to go to the community events calendar to find out when new art pieces like that or events were going on. And unfortunately, that community event calendar has just become polluted with shops listing their sales, virtual 5Ks, virtual marathons and stuff. It doesn't just it no longer lists just the events going on. There's a lot of etc. on there as well. I seem not to be able to filter out, so I've just kind of been having to explore to find when new stuff like this comes out. Let's cross the Blue Bridge and go over to the Fish Ladder, since I can't go further north. At least along the river I can't. I have to stop and adjust my shoe. I'm getting a little rub spot, a little hot spot on my foot. Oh, and I think I just called this the 7th Street Bridge, didn't I? I don't even have the heat to blame for that one today. Yeah, here's where you would normally launch a boat from. And almost all this was fairly recently renovated, but I guess they're going through it, tearing it all up again. And replacing everything but the bathrooms, of course. Wow, let's see just how low the water is here. You can see the massive utility culvert just below the water there. Let's see if you guys can see that. I can just make that out on camera. There's a massive utility pipe. This is part of why you aren't allowed a boat further south. The Lowhead Dam is part of it, but I would imagine there's a lot of utilities along in this area. Fan you guys around for a view. Looking to the south and then back to the north again. And north would be upriver. You could hop on a boat and head north to Rockford if it was a small enough boat. You could head up to the Fifth Third ballpark quite easily. If you were kayaking, that would be quite a long paddle. When the decking on this bridge really needs to be replaced again. And they did that, what, 5 years ago? 5-6 years ago? And it's starting to get all warped. As you don't often see them paint it either, or do any maintenance to it. This bridge was famously saved by a bunch of people basically demanding that they not tear it down. They were going to tear this bridge out. Of course, if you live in this area, you start to realize just how convenient it is. Somebody said Jeep paid to close it for a couple of hours to do a commercial, which I find kind of funny. Like, Jeep, you either want a Jeep or you don't. Does anybody actually watch a Jeep commercial and that changes their mind? It's not how it works with my brain. Absolutely beautiful weather today, though. Was watching Christine from We Go Places Tours at Niagara Falls earlier, and the clouds there were prettier. The weather was just as nice, though. You can make out the Medical Mile, along with the top of McKay Tower. It's got the little nipple-shaped dome on top there. And then further to the right, you can just make out DeVos Performance Hall and the tower of the Paintland Amway Grand Plaza. And this is actually a really popular place to bike and walk. And one last look back at the historic 6th Street Bridge. as we turn now and we walk to the south. And there's a cafe now open. I've never seen an entrance. Must be over where the deli was. There was a little deli over here too. Excuse me, a deli. Like a sandwich shop. A little deli makes it sound like a place where you could buy deli meat. It's been a very long week. We lost footage from the Polish festival that I tried to film and then accidentally deleted the largest hunk of the footage on accident and was unable to recover it. Chuck another one in the dislike comment for working with the smartphones. If that had happened on my actual DSLR, recovering that file would have been a cinch. But as we are overwriting the memory blocks where that was possibly stored now, there is no chance that episode's coming back. We'll look at the fish ladder here. They are going to re-slope this park, I believe. Yeah, and that's just the potential concept. But that is years out now, I'm hearing. So we're essentially not going to be able to launch our boats down in this area for, I think they were saying 3 years, maybe. But then when we finally can come back down here, we should be able to launch about anywhere along the river. All right, well, let's continue walking to the north. On the river, it's quite shockingly low at the moment. Pardon that little jostle there as I change hands with the camera. Normally you don't see that much exposed down at the bottom of that little launch there. I believe that's a little launch for the emergency cruise. Possibly for the few people who fish this section. There aren't many who fish this section. It's awful shallow, even when the river level is higher. and more of what I would consider the river walk here. I don't know if this is what it's actually called through this section. But when I lived a little closer to downtown, this was a great place to come for a little walk. And not have to walk along the roads. A little quieter down by the river. Not a lot, being we're right underneath the freeway here. You could just make out Bridge Street, Michigan Street. You can pretty clearly make out the bottom of the river too. Alright, so this should bring us up over by Bridge, Michigan Street. And then I think we're going to walk to the east. Just under Varnum Bridgewater Place here. I believe that's the building that now holds the title of tallest. And we'll be across from Anabuen Park here, which attaches to the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum just to our north. Be just across the road in front of us at the moment. Alright, let's cross Michigan Street, Bridge Street here. Alright. One quick look at the Anabuen Park sign before we turn and we walk to the east. I still have a little hot spot in my shoe. Hang on a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's a little piece of plant in my shoe and it was rubbing on my foot. Look to the north at that freeway. My foot is really irritated now. I rubbed the skin off a little spot. Should have looked at that again when it was still bugging me. river is quite low. Behind the pylons where there's silt washed up. It's almost coming to the surface. That's incredible. Well, alright, I think we're going to call this one video. I might start another one, depending on if my foot is still bothering me as much as it is right now. I think we'll probably stop and have lunch, but I hope you guys enjoyed that walk through downtown Grand Rapids. If you did, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe. And that's the peregrine falcon right there, I think. No, that's another pigeon. No, I'm an idiot. That's just another pigeon. He was swooping. Not big enough to be a peregrine falcon.